Hello students, I'm Amrit Beer. Welcome to the world of digital teaching. For class 12th English, today I'll be taking up the poem from your book Flamingo. The title of the poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. And the poet is Stephen Spender, as you can see on your screen, and I'm sure you have your books open in front of you. The NCERT book Flamingo. So Stephen Spender was an English poet and an essayist. He left University College, Oxford, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. Spender took a keen interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist. Books by Spender include Poems of Dedication, The Edge of Being, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern, and an autobiography, World Within World. In an elementary school classroom in a slum, he has concentrated on the themes of social injustice and social inequalities, the class inequalities. Right, so this was just in brief about the poet and the poem, the theme that he has taken for this poem of social injustice and class inequalities. Now, if you have a look at the title, what image does this create in your mind? So let's think about it for a while. Try to visualize what the poet would have wanted to portray through this poem, an elementary school classroom in a slum. So, this brings to mind, I am sure, the picture of a classroom, an elementary school classroom, that is for the younger kids, the primary kids, in a slum area. Slum area, we all know. So, the picture that comes to your mind is something of a place which is not very hygienic, dirty surroundings, the slum area, and a shabby kind of building put up there for the elementary school, and the classroom again a very shabby and very rough and a crude kind of place where you cannot imagine the kids sitting and studying there. So that kind of image which comes to your mind. Let's quickly just read the poem once and enjoy the rhythm. You may ask yourself, have you ever visited or seen an elementary school in a slum? What does it look like? So, what kind of feelings do you have when you visit such a place? See, I've been to few schools in Ludhiana only, and they too were not in the rural area. So, one of them was a government school, and the other was a private small school. I could see their students who were wearing broken shoes, a student who is not wearing proper uniform, torn uniform, his sleeve is torn, very dirty kind of appearance, and one student who had a hole in his shoe. So these are kind of the disturbing things that you come across when you visit such a place. So of course what you think of is it brings to you the concept or the element of injustice. Living in a democratic country, we believe it is to be justice for all. We say it's we have the right to education, right? So it is a fundamental right to get education for all. But still, when we see these things around ourselves, they are, yes, disturbing for us, right? So let's just enjoy the rhythm of the poem once. Let's quickly go through it. Far from the gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet, and young. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than his. On sour cream walls, donations. Shakespeare's head. Cloudless at dawn. Civilized dome, writing all cities. Belled, flurry, Trowley's valley. Open-handed map, awarding the world its world. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their futures painted with the fog. A narrow street sealed in with the lead sky, far from rivers, capes, and stars of words. Surely, Shakespeare is wicked. The map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to sail, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes, from fog to endless night. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones, and spectacles of steel with mended glass, like bottle bits on stones. All of their time and space are foggy slum. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window. And these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open. History theirs, whose language is the sun. History theirs, whose language is the sun. Now, before we move on to the line by line explanation of the poem, let me just quickly take you through a summary of the poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. So, this poem by Stephen Spender gives you a vivid description of a school classroom in a slum and the children in that class, right? The faces of the children are dull, their appearance shows that they are unwanted. The children have gloomy faces, their heads hanging low in sadness because of their being poor. They have diseased bodies inherited from their parents, and they are all victims of poverty. At the dim end of the room sits one child who has bright eyes which seem to dream. He is the dreamy kind, of playing outside with squirrels. He is different from the others in the dark and dim room. The walls of the classroom are dirty. People have donated charts and images which have been put up on them. One of them is a picture of the great playwright William Shakespeare. His head is bald, resembles the rising sun. The next poster is of the Triolis Valley, full of churches and flowers which symbolize the beautiful creations of nature. Another one is a map of the world. To these children, the world is not the one shown in these pictures, but it is the one that they see out of the classroom window. They are trapped in the slums. Their future is dim and hopeless. They have a dark future as their options in life are limited and are covered with dismay. They are far away from the bright light of knowledge. Comprehending this picture is beyond their abilities. They hate everyone, and for them, Shakespeare is a wicked man, as no one loves them. They dislike everyone. The desire for love and acceptance forces them to do crimes like stealing. The children are so skinny that their clothes are like a skin and their skeleton is visible through them. This is due to lack of nutrition. They have worn looking glasses made of steel, which are cheap, heavy, and uncomfortable. Their chances of fulfilling their dreams and moving out have been reduced by building bigger slums. Until they come out of the slum, they will never know what the world looks like. The government system which makes these slums is the cause for these people to live in them. The education system is such that it forces them to live in these slums. They are not given the right to dream beyond these slums. They have been restricted to the slums. The poet requests the authorities to allow these children to go out of these slums so that the maps on the walls of the classroom become a reality for them. They should be taken to the green fields rather than the dim slums. The sunny, warm sand of the beaches and the bright blue will instill a hunger for knowledge in their minds. Then they will absorb all of it. Then these children will become economically empowered. The poem ends with a powerful line: those who make history are the ones who shine like the sun. So that's a beautiful ending thought for a poem. Now, what you are expected to do is just go through the poem, read the text, go through the summary, try to pick out phrases from the poem when you go through this summary. I deliberately didn't take it up in detail for the first introductory video. Of course, we'll be discussing it line by line, word by word in the next detailed video. For now, I would like you to go through the poem once, twice, thrice. Then when you go through the summary, try to relate the thoughts given here in the summary with the text of the poem. You will find the images will be revealed to you from the text of the poem. Enjoy the rhythm and the beauty. Take care, stay put, keep in touch. We'll continue with the detailed explanation of this poem in the next video. Thank you.